My mother had a hip replacement and had a bad allergic reaction to the metal. Now it has to come out. Was the doctor supposed to test her beforehand? What are her legal options? Great question. Jim, what are your thoughts?
Well, can't give a real detailed answer based on that short amount, that little bit of information. Here are two things. One, two potential errors here, maybe no errors. Sometimes people have an adverse reaction to a medical procedure, and it's nobody's fault. It happens, even though everybody has done everything right. The second alternative is it may be a defective product. If you watch a lot of late night TV, you see advertisements from attorneys. Hips have been a particularly problematic medical device for a number of years. There are a lot of recalls and a lot of problems with various manufacturers and specific hips. So if you have a hip problem when you have a hip implant, what you need to do initially is go to an attorney who handles these kinds of cases. We can look at the medical records, determine whether that specific hip was defective, whether it's been the subject of a recall, whether it's involved in a class action lawsuit, and make sure your rights are protected. The other potential alternative is it may be the fault of the medical provider. Maybe the hip was fine and it was installed improperly or was not a proper fit. That happens sometimes too, or a combination of those two things. Short answer is if you have a major problem like this, you need to seek legal counsel early and determine whether you have a case. You may not have one, but you need to know.
Jim, let me ask you this. If you were to get this call that came into the office on Monday, this is a call you'd probably return. I mean, pretty quick.
Well,
I mean, it's
I'll
serious.
return all my calls quick.
Well, of course you do. But this would I mean, a hip goes in and then you're allergic to the hip. It seems like something didn't go right.
No, we would immediately take a look at this. We would immediately have her come in, sign appropriate medical releases, obtain the medical records if she doesn't have them already, do a database search to see if it's the subject of litigation or a lot of litigation in the past, maybe part of a class action lawsuit, or whether there's been a recall problem with it. And that's kind of the first thing you do on with a hip case.